Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Comics Workshop coming to you live from merrickbennett.com over at the Patreon, patreon.com/merrickbennett. Thanks, patrons, for making these live draws possible, hanging with us and drawing with us all year. I've got my pencil, I've got my pen, my marker, an eraser, and I'm going to do a little sort of relaxing bird draw here. I've been going out and filling the bird feeder and watching these chickadees as they eat, and it's really fun and relaxing to just kind of doodle them. So I'm actually going to use a pen directly. We've been talking all year about penciling, inking, erasing, but I'm just going to go directly to ink here because this is a quick little nature doodle. So I found it so hard to draw chickadees at first. I'll show you why. Here's my basic chickadee shape. It's sort of a tear. You can practice that a couple times. It's got a round end and the tail kind of curls up a little bit. Little paisley shape. Maybe I'll put a couple in here. They can sort of face in all different directions. Let's space them around the page here. Just think of this as like a snowy field with a bunch of chickadees. I love these little birds. They live near my house. These are black-capped chickadees that we're going to make here. Let's just get a nice little flock hanging around here. Maybe one like pointing down. And they're kind of scattered around. Okay, so there's our little flock. So the cool thing about black-capped chickadees, they have this distinctive, well, a black cap. So we'll put a top on them. And then they have this little chin patch that comes down, a little triangle like that comes down on their chin. And that's the key. I was drawing like two stripes around the eye for a long time, and it just made the eye look kind of angry. But if I get this pattern, suddenly it seems to be a little more friendly and open. And I had to go out and just watch these birds and realize, oh, thick strap around the chin and then straight across the neck here. That's the key. I'm going to put some sort of light colored gray wings. I leave a little white stripe there in the middle. Light gray, which is of course just thin pen lines. And we'll give a short little tail there. And it comes alive as a little bird. It needs feet. So let's give it two little feet, just two little straight lines. This is not, it's not like anatomical drawing or nature drawing. It's nature doodling, right? We're just taking these simple shapes and turning them into birds. Now these black-capped chickadees, they hang around my house. There's sometimes 3 or 4 of them. There's sometimes like 10 of them, but there's always a little group. They don't like to be alone. And they call each other. If there's just one, it'll be calling. You know it'll be calling and gathering the others around it, whether it's looking for food or finding food. Give it a little more cap there. Let's try maybe this one. We'll give it, we'll make it looking up. Let's see. And we just repeat these simple features. Since we're doodling, we're drawing fast. The key, I think, to nature doodling is I don't try to draw things. I try to draw actions, right? The bird looking up, the bird looking down, the bird landing. Let's do one like flying. We'll just give it quick wings like that, taking off. And give it the top cap, the bottom patch. And you know, the bird doesn't quite look like that when it's flying, but I'm going for the action. Let's bring these feet up. Bring that tail out. Going for the action and trying to draw the bird kind of zipping along. Actually, now that one sort of looks like it's taking a mud bath, but let's see. And if it doesn't quite work out, I move on to the next one. And I'm always watching the birds around me if I'm outside drawing. I did not bring a bunch of live chickadees into my desk to draw. That probably would have been messy. Let's try it. Let's see if we can get this one coming in for a landing. among the crowd here. This one's flying out, this one's flying in. Let's see. Let's try just doing both wings up. Oh, that looks a little better. Feet out, ready to land. Keep it super simple. And if you look at it and you see it doing an action, then I'm totally happy. Doesn't have to look exactly like the thing that I'm drawing. The other cool thing about doing this kind of drawing, this kind of nature doodling, is I find it really relaxing, because what I'm really doing by putting all these actions together, and we'll see what some of these actions are in a moment, I'm actually creating an environment, right? Right now, this is like a snowy field with chickadees coming and going, just kind of standing around. I actually want to turn this into a whole three-dimensional environment. So let's see. Put a couple more chickadees down here on the ground. This one's pecking at something. Maybe this one's happy to be pecking at something. Make that eye a little upside down smile. There we go. I found something there on the ground. And then I'll go in here, and actually what they do is they hop around on the branches. So I'm going to bring, maybe in the middle here, I'll bring a trunk up through here. And I'm going to let my tree be kind of messy. This will be a tree that they're all perching on. And I'm just going to do it sort of with a rough line. This is an old tree. Maybe it has some rough bark. If you want your tree to be black, you can do it with a thick black marker and just have it be a solid black line. I'll try rough bark to start with. And I can bring a branch out here, and it's a crooked branch, right? Crooked line, let the pen kind of decide where that branch goes. A lot of winter wind shaped that branch. Maybe somebody pruned it. Maybe this is an old apple tree that they're on. Not super old, it's kind of small. Tiny super dwarf bush tree here. And of course, they're not just flying around. They're constantly looking for food, seeds, bugs to eat in the warmer months, but right now, seeds. Let's bring a branch off here. Maybe this branch has a branch. Let me bring it back. Now, those are just kind of rough lines, but if you rough them all together and make it look kind of messy and scratchy, it'll look like an old tree. We'll put a little knot there where a branch maybe broke off. Maybe a branch here to jump off of. And I just let the tree sort of form, which is in itself kind of relaxing. Doesn't have to be a perfect tree, just has to be kind of, looks a little bit messy and shaggy, but really it's forming according to certain rules, right? We have this trunk going up the middle, branches going off to the side. Make this branch bigger. If it looks a little small, we'll just thicken it up there. Thicken all these parts up. There we go. I just let those lines kind of connect our little chickadee crowd. And let's give it a little shadow down below. I'm thinking some scratchy ground down below. Little bits of stubbly grass cleared away from the trunk there. Maybe some little bits of seeds. Maybe we'll make that shadow around the trunk a little darker. I'm really just scratching with my pen there. Scratch, scratch, scratch. It's got to look a little messy, a little overgrown. These chickadees like kind of wild spaces, the edge of wild spaces. And what they're doing here, since it is November around here and it's getting cold, let's put a couple little snowflake cold signs in. This one's coming into land somewhere. I better bring this branch up a little higher because it looks like that chickadee's aiming to land right there, doesn't it? That gives it a little landing spot. Let's bring these feet down. We'll just give them little ball legs grabbing on, little ball feet, because I don't think the toes, we can try the toes, but see the toes get a little lost in those branches. You can do little ink ball feet, or you can do little fork toes. Fork toes here on the ground. Get as detailed as you want. And what they're doing actually is these chickadees, or at least the ones in my backyard, are right now they're eating as much as they possibly can, and all the extra stuff they are scatter hoarding. Oh, I got to watch the comments here. Hey, Miss Heiler. Hey, Miss Heiler's class. I'm glad you're watching. I went out. I was thinking of you guys as I went out on the back porch just before now and was looking for birds, and all the chickadees had gone away. So I didn't have anyone to draw with this afternoon. And I was thinking, oh, we need like a cool school group, like Miss Heiler's class, people to draw with. I'm so glad we have these chances to draw together, live draws. So these chickadees, they're not just hanging around. They're not just eating. The other amazing thing that I've found that they are doing is something called scatter hoarding. So they are finding little seeds. Anywhere they find a seed, they eat what they need. And if they find extra, let's do a scatter hoarding chickadee in here. So I'll give it a little round head, pointy tail, and a beak. Has a little seed in it. It's a little hard to see at this size, but trust me, it's got a little seed in it. And it is reaching up and tucking that seed into a little crack in the bark. We'll put the eye all the way over because it's totally focused on this. Okay. It's tucking that seed into the bark there. And maybe there's another seed tucked in there. You can kind of tuck little seeds away into your drawing here. Maybe this one has a little seed that it's going to tuck. And maybe this one already has tucked some seeds into the bark here, or they'll even tuck seeds. Maybe there's some leaves over here. Put a couple leaves on the ground, and maybe there's some seeds tucked under there. Maybe there's some seeds hidden in the branches here. And they scatter hoard these seeds all around their environment. And then when the cold winter months come and there isn't enough food, they will remember them months later and go back and check on them and eat them. I'm going to scatter hoard a bunch of seeds all in every crack and cranny of this tree. Maybe this little knot here is filled with them. They say, I've been reading Sibley's new book on what it's like to be a bird. And it says a single chickadee can scatter hoard up to 1,000 seeds in a day during the warm months, right? And they'll go to all the trees all around, let's tuck 1,000 seeds in here, right? I'm just thinking that's like if you scatter hoard seeds for 10 hours of the day, that's still what, 100 seeds per hour? That's over a seed a minute. That's like just running around crazily, tucking these seeds every which way. And then the amazing thing is this little chickadee could scatter hoard. It could have like 80,000 seeds hidden around in its little territory here, right? 80,000 seeds. It can remember those seeds and it'll go back to the ones that are perishable and it'll eat those first and it'll go to the ones that keep a little later. So we've got a ton of seeds hidden around here. That's got to be like 80,000 seeds times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's that? 720,000 seeds hidden around the environment here. Amazing creatures. No wonder they're like constantly moving, constantly burning calories, constantly looking for food. And they've got to find enough food to remake all those calories and store enough up for the winter and the trees around them. It's amazing. That's thinking about these little creatures around Thanksgiving, thinking of all the little peoples that have lived on this land for so long, and chickadees, you know, they've been tending their little cupboards of seeds all winter for a lot of winters here. Kind of nice to go out and draw with them and learn from them and watch them and see what they're doing. And like I said before, focusing on the actions. I've got a space up here. I'm going to bring in a new bird. We'll give this one, instead of a round top, fringy top. What's that? The cresty top. Little black bill base, little eye. This is a tufted titmouse coming into land. Focusing on the actions, always the actions, right? Let's do another one of those. Because these birds are constantly in action. And I found if I focus on the action, I get to know the bird a lot more rather than what they look like. I'm not too worried about what these look like as long as you see the difference. They're related, but the titmice have little tufts on their heads here. That one didn't quite work out as well, but that's all right. Let's put one more chickadee flying in here. This is quite a crowd here. Black cap, eye, chin patch, beak, wing up. That other wing, maybe that other wing isn't visible. Oh no, there's the other wing right there. Oh, this is looking really crowded. All these birds coming in from different directions kind of give it a zip, zap, zoop, zap sort of feel. But there's a lot of seeds in this picture. And I just find it's nice and relaxing to kind of take the time, start by just putting a couple birds in, and then give them an environment. Let that tree find its way between them and give them each a place to sit and each a place to store their food for the winter. And each of them is doing the actions that come naturally to them that they need to do to survive. And something about drawing that kind of a scene is just, it's interesting how that is relaxing, right? It kind of grounds you in the weather, in observing the world around you, and also in like creating a little, this is an imaginary environment, but creating a little environment and then taking care of the little critters in it kind of gets you ready to maybe go out and do that outside your sketchbook or your doodle paper, right? Something very relaxing and rewarding about that kind of observation. Oh, it looks like it's starting to snow in this scene. I think it just turned kind of gray. Now I need to go get some more bird seed so I can observe these, my little bird feeder friends a little more, learn a little more about them and what they're up to and what they're doing to get ready for winter. So I'm going to go hop on my bike, keep an eye out for chickadees and other birds as I ride up to see if I can rustle up some bird seed in town, maybe. I didn't grow any sunflowers this year. All right, so let's sign our paper. What's today? 1 December 2020. There we go. And since if I had just been penciling all this time, now I would pull out my inking tool and then I would erase the pencil lines. But since we went direct to ink and we just had to work with any mistakes, right? Not the world's most perfect flying bird, but we work with it. Just let it be what it is and enjoy it and see what you learn when you go out and observe whatever birds are around you or whatever trees or whatever kind of weather is going on around you. Have fun cartooning it, focus on those actions, and let's see what you find. Have a good time, everybody. Draw lots of comics. I will see you soon. If you want to see more and get invites to future live draws, head on over to the patreon.com/Merrick Bennett, and we'll see you over there. I'll post my new Chickadee mini and some other stuff soon. Otherwise, merrickbennett.com. Let's be social. Look me up on Instagram. Talk to you soon, everybody. Nice to draw with you.